Now, this is called the Code on Social Security 2020. In that one chapter you can find on the maternity benefits. The chapter 6, in case if you look at on the Code on Social Security 2020, you'll get the provisions of like a maternity benefits. And most of the provisions which is similar to the Maternity Benefit Act of 1961. So we'll look at, I mean, apart from like the slight the changes, so they brought. I mean, now like we know that maternity benefit, the employee compensation, gratuity, ESI, and the employee provident fund, they brought under the Code on Social Security 2020. Earlier we had like separate legislation for that, but now like the each and every those part, I mean the prudent fund or the employee state insurance or the compensation already we discussed, the maternity benefit. So these are all things comes under the Code on Social Security 2020. All these like the social security benefits legislations. I mean this legislation which mandates the employer to give the benefit to the employees. So we'll discuss what exactly the provisions of the Code on Social Security 2020 on maternity benefits. We'll discuss one by one. I'm not going to discuss on clause wise, just like I'll give some like basic fundamental information about like maternity benefit. What circumstance they're eligible to get a benefit and what circumstance they're not eligible to claim for maternity benefit. So these are all some of the rights of the women employee. Somebody can read.
Semester.
Yeah.
Employment of or work by women prohibited during certain period. No employer shall knowingly employ a woman in any establishment during the 6 weeks immediately following the day of her delivery, miscarriage, or medical termination of pregnancy.
Yeah. So this clause says the employer is not allowed to employ any woman in any establishment during the 6 weeks immediately following the date of her delivery, miscarriage, or medical termination of pregnancy. Suppose she delivered on, say, let's take an example of today. I mean, the 2nd of November. 2nd of November. From this date, 2nd of November, for a 6 weeks time, 6 weeks time, no employer can employ a pregnant, the woman who delivered just on, in the sense, from this date, I mean, 2nd of November, for a 6 weeks, from this date of delivery, so no employer should employ a woman in any establishment, not only like, so this is what I said, like a date of delivery, I said, date of delivery, and suppose it is also applicable for the miscarriage. Suppose like the miscarriage happens today, I mean the 2nd of November, miscarriage happens. From this date, for a 6 weeks time, no person or employer is allowed to employ any woman. In the sense, uh, so employer is not allowed to hire or employ any woman in any establishment during this time. What is the period? What is the period? 6 weeks from the date of the delivery. Say, for example, 2nd November, that is the delivery date, and for from the date of like 2nd November until the period of 6 weeks. So I think like it comes to somewhere uh, the 2nd week of December. Until that time, so employer should not employ a woman. One more miscarriage. I hope you know the expulsion of the content. We know that the miscarriage means, and the medical termination of pregnancy. This medical termination of pregnancy is regulated by the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. So that we are going to discuss in next semester in detail. What occasions the termination is allowed and what occasions termination is not allowed. In detail we are going to discuss. we know that in India, after the passing like this particular legislation, medical termination of pregnancy, the termination of pregnancy in India, which is legal now. But like the termination should happen on the ground, so which is listed in under like Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act of 1971. So now in India, in case if you fulfill certain conditions, yes, the termination is legal in India. But certain grounds, so grounds we'll discuss in detail. I think the some of the ground in case of if you want me to give, say for example, rape victim. So rape victim, that is the ground in which pregnancy caused because of the rape. Now, yes, I mean the termination is allowed because of this in case of pregnancy caused because of the rape. Or say, for example, in other cases also, sometimes in case if there is any say your I mean pregnancy caused because of the failure of like a contraceptive device is also one of the reason or one of the ground in which the termination is allowed. But of course, there are certain I mean the time limitation. So until the 12 weeks of pregnancy, how it can be terminated, and until the 20th week, how it can be terminated, and after like a 20th week, it cannot be terminated. So those are all provisions. I mean, very interesting, but we're going to discuss in a next. Until the with the opinion of one medical practitioner until the 12 weeks termination is allowed, and till like a 20th week with the opinion of two medical practitioner termination is allowed. And in case whether termination is a lot of cases we can find the women approach the court to give a permission to abort, I mean they terminate even after 20th week. So even like in one case in Bombay, a couple asked, I mean, approached the High Court of Bombay on 24th week for the termination of the pregnancy, but court had not allowed because of like MTP Act of 1971 on certain grounds. So that's what Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act says, that when a termination is allowed and when it is not allowed, and it also says that grounds on which the termination is allowed. Now, for the purpose of this maternity benefit, immediately after the date of termination for a 6 weeks time. I mean, I said, suppose like a termination happened somewhere on like a 26th of last month. I mean, the October. So from this date, 26th of October, for a 6 weeks time, so the employer should not employ a woman. I hope you understood the basic meaning of this word. What exactly the intention of the legislature, I hope you understood. So this is not the benefit what we're talking about the employee, but we are talking about now the first instance whether employer can allow, I mean, can employ a woman during the time of immediately after the delivery or miscarriage or termination. But my answer is no, because the legislation, this legislation says that which prohibits the employer employing women for a 6 weeks time after the delivery, miscarriage, or termination of the pregnancy. Hope you understood. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, read.
No woman shall work in any establishment during the 6 weeks immediately following the day of her delivery, miscarriage, or medical termination of pregnancy.
Just look at the difference between like this sentence and the next sentence. In this case, no employer shall knowingly employ a woman. Here, no woman shall work. There is an obligation on the employer here. No employer shall knowingly employ. See, this is very important, this word knowingly. Suppose unknowingly, he can escape from the liability. It is not an offense. But in case, knowingly in case if employ, so which attracts some penalty or imprisonment. Unknowingly in case if you employ, I mean, see, sometimes a woman also, he may not intimate, she may not intimate to the employer. So there is a possibility. I mean, in that case, of course, if something happened later, yes, employer can escape from the liability. Now, in this case, there is an obligation even on the women. No women shall work in any establishment during the 6 weeks immediately following the date of delivery, miscarriage, and MTP, the medical termination of pregnancy. I hope you understood the very difference between this provision and this provision. Here, it puts some obligation on the employer, but here some direction to the women. So she should not work in any establishment during the time of 6 weeks. Okay. Continue.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, you have mentioned that a woman cannot join in 6 weeks immediately after the delivery or miscarriage
No.
or termination. So,
No.
so what if the woman is willing to or she's in need of work?
No, as per this legislation, it is not the question of like a need of an women for earning. It is a question of her health or a life of the women. So that's what like all these like social security legislation. I mean, which secures the employee from certain things. So in this case, the primary focus on the health of women. I mean, by taking into consideration the health of the women or life of women, so such provisions has been laid off. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you read the next sentence?
Yes, yes. No pregnant woman shall, on a request being made by her in this behalf, be required by her employer to do during the period specified in subsection 4
We'll discuss this later. Yes.
any work which is of an arduous nature or which involves long hours of standing or which in any way is likely to interfere with her pregnancy or the normal development of the fetus or is likely to cause a miscarriage or otherwise to adversely affect her health.
See, no pregnant woman shall, on a request being made by her in this behalf, see, there is an obligation even on the women. So, on a request being made by her in this behalf, so there must be some request even from the women. What request? Be required by her employer to do during the period specified in subsection 4. I mean, next section it says that what exactly the period? What exactly the period? Now I'll give some idea how to say this. What period? So in this case, what exactly it says? This particular provision says during the period specified in subsection 2. That period we'll discuss later. What the employer should not do? Employer should not give any work which is orders in nature. The work which is arduous in nature in the sense the work which requires some extra effort or which requires like long standing in a factory or manufacturing setup. You know how it works. I mean, any work which requires some extra effort, say for example like lifting some material. I mean, what exactly the purpose, the intention of the legislature here? I mean, in case if you give the work of this nature, which may interfere with her pregnancy or which may cause the normal development of the fetus or likely to cause the miscarriage or otherwise adversely affect her health. This is the reason in which for the period specified in a subsection next section. In the sense, I'll give some idea. See, suppose her expected date of delivery on 15th of December. Expected date of delivery on 15th of just 6 weeks prior from the expected date of delivery. I mean, which date comes somewhere 6 weeks in sense. I'll take the November 1st. Shall I take? In case if I take like November 1st, whether November 1st onwards, whether it comes to 6 weeks this period.
Yes,
Am I right? This is a 6 weeks period, right? From November 1st to December 15th. Just a hypothetical example. Fine. Now, when you should not give work of arduous in nature, when? Now, from this date, I mean the November prior preceding 6 weeks of the expected date of delivery, 1 month prior. 1 month prior. This is a period in which the employer should not give any work which requires an extra effort. In the sense, from the October 1st itself, employer should not give any work which is orders in nature or which requires a long hours of standing. I hope you understood this. I mean, the provision says that, I mean, this during the period specified in subsection 4, it says that from the date of expected date of delivery preceding 6 weeks, 1 month prior, the orders work should not be given. In this sense, from the month of like October itself, employer should not give any work which requires an extra effort. I hope you understood what exactly the intention of the legislature, because it may interfere with her pregnancy or normal development of the fetus, or is likely to cause her miscarriage or otherwise adversely affect her health. That is the reason in which, so these are all precautionary measures. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now see, this is what just now I discussed about the time of the period. Yeah, read it.
The period referred to in subsection 3 shall be the period of 1 month immediately preceding the period of 6 weeks before the date of our expected
This
delivery.
is what I discussed just now. This is what a period of 1 month immediately preceding the period of 6 weeks before the date of expected delivery. In my example, I gave December 15th is the expected date of delivery. Prior to the 6 weeks, in the sense, I said the November 1st. Now, like the period of 1 month immediately preceding the period of 6 weeks, in the sense, preceding the 6 months, in the sense, it comes to October 1st. From the October 1st itself, the employer should not give any work which is orders in nature. So, until the period of delivery. Clear? In the sense, until the period of delivery, it won't come, because from the we know that as per like this legislation, we know that a employer should give a leave, right? That's what like the benefit, what the maternity benefit is entitled, the women is entitled. Of course, we know that what is the length of the leave now, maternity benefit? Any idea? I think somewhere I discussed while discussing legislation. So 26 weeks, right? Leave. Now women is entitled to get the maternity benefit for the period of 26 weeks. I mean, nowhere in other countries you don't find. So this very lengthy period of time, the women is entitled to get the maternity benefit. 26 weeks, nowhere you can find. So 26 weeks of leave. So this like a 26 weeks leave, 26 total 26 weeks of leave should be classified divided into two. 8 plus 18. 8 plus 18. What does it mean? 8 weeks, 8 weeks of leave you should give prior to the expected date of delivery. 18th weeks of leave you should give after the delivery. Hope you understood. 8 plus 18. Suppose December 15th is the expected date of delivery. 8 weeks prior, advance leave should be given, and after the delivery, 18 weeks of leave should be provided. Mute. 18 weeks of leave should be provided. 18 weeks of leave. Total 26 weeks of leave. So even if you take, see, this is what the important here. Even if you take 8 weeks prior to the expected date of delivery, I think from November 15th onwards, the leave should be declared, right? From November 15th onwards, be declared. So now the question of orders work comes from October to 1.5 month. I mean the November 15th. I hope you can follow me. I mean November 15th onwards, obviously like she's entitled to get like a maternity leave. Now October 1st to November 15th, of course, like the orders or extra, I mean the work which requires an extra effort should not be given. That's it. So that is an idea. Clear?
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I didn't understand one thing. I understood that prior to the expected date of delivery, you told that the employer should give 8 weeks of leave. Then what about the remaining 10 weeks, or how it is distributed like that?
So that's what I said. See, in our example, December, I mean, later part we'll discuss in fact this. December 15th is the expected date of delivery. So leave should be given 8 weeks prior to this, prior to the expected date of delivery, 8 weeks prior. In the sense, somewhere it comes like a November 15th, right? No, just an example. Is it November 15th? No. 8 weeks prior is or October 15th.
October.
2 weeks of leave and 4 weeks of, yeah, October, exactly, sorry. October 15th. October 15th it comes. So she is entitled to take a leave in advance from like October 15th onwards, 8 weeks. And after, see, total 26 weeks of leave, right? So this like 26 weeks of leave can be divided into 8 weeks prior and 8 weeks after the date of delivery, 18 weeks after the delivery. After the delivery, 18 weeks. Clear? So 26 weeks of leave divided into 2. I mean 8 weeks advance, 8 weeks after the date of delivery. Even see, I mean, we are talking about like a total 26 weeks of leave. Leave in the sense what benefit she is going to get. During the time of leave, it is a paid leave. Employer is, there is an obligation on the employer to pay for this leave, 26 weeks of leave. During the while availing this 8 weeks of leave, advance payment need to be given. This 8 weeks advance payment need to be given. And now date of delivery, suppose like I said, like after the, in case the date of delivery is 15th, 18 weeks she is entitled to get as a maternity benefit. This payment should be given within a 48 hours of her delivery. What payment? Payment of this 18 weeks should be given by employer should give within a 48 hours. So this is how it works. I mean the maternity benefit. So we'll discuss further. I mean, so we are going to discuss in detail. So those stuffs in later part. Any confusion? Okay.
Explanation. For the purposes of this section, the expression any work of the arduous nature shall mean any work which involve or requires strenuous effort or is difficult and tiring in nature.
That we discussed just now. Yes, okay. Now, right to payment of a maternity benefit. Yes.
Subject to the other provisions of this code, every woman shall be entitled to and her employer shall be liable for the payment of the maternity benefit at the rate of the average daily wage for the period of her actual absence. That is to say, the period immediately preceding the day of her delivery and any period immediately following that day.
I mean, what does it mean? Just now we discussed about this. The period immediately preceding the date of her delivery, I said she is entitled to claim for a 8 weeks leave, 8 weeks leave. And the period immediately following that day, what is that? The 18 weeks, 18 weeks. So total this, I mean, how she is going to get a payment? She is going to get a payment on an average daily wages. To calculate average daily wages, so 3 months average need to be taken into consideration. 3 months average. So that, I mean, 3 months average she is entitled to get as a maternity benefit. 3 months average. I think like in case if you read this, you'll understand. Yeah.
Explanation. For the purposes of this subsection, the average daily wage means the average of the woman's wages payable to her for the days on which she worked during the period of 3 calendar months immediately preceding the date from which she absents herself on account of maternity, subject to the minimum rate of wage fixed or revised under the Code of Wages 2009.
Exactly. So subject to the some legislation. So Minimum Wages Act and the Code on Wages. So that we'll discuss when we are discussing of the Payment of Wages Act and the Minimum Wages Act. In case of time permits, we'll discuss, or else like we'll skip. So daily average wages in sense 3 months average. This is what I said. 3 calendar months average. Immediately preceding the date from which she absent herself.
No woman shall be entitled to maternity benefit unless she has actually worked in an establishment of the employer from whom she claims maternity benefit for a period of not less than 80 days in the 12 months immediately preceding the date of the expected release.
See, certain requirements. I mean, this particular sentence is very, very important. I mean, the provision. This particular provision says that the eligibility of a woman to get the maternity benefit. I mean, not all the women is entitled to get the maternity benefit under this code. Certain conditions they laid down, because this is what used to happen sometimes. And women during the time of pregnancy, she may join some establishment and just for the purpose of getting a benefit under this act. So that is not allowed. Because this code which mandates certain things, the eligibility says that, see, so at least we know that in a 12 calendar months, this is one criteria. In a 12 calendar months, in case if she work for a 12 calendar months, in a 12 calendar months, at least she need to work the 80 days. This is very, very important. In case if she doesn't work for 80 days in a 12 calendar months, she is not entitled to get maternity benefit. She is entitled to get the maternity benefit only in case if she work for a 12 calendar months, in 12 calendar months, in case if she work for a 80 days. 80 days. However, in this 80 days, while calculating like 80 days, all like the authorized leave should be taken into consideration. This is what we discussed somewhere while discussing the Industrial Dispute Act. The say, for example, the layoff period. Layoff period. So layoff period must be included. And say, for example, the strike. I mean, whenever I say about the strike, it comes to legal strike. Or say, for example, Sundays must be included. Or say, for example, other holidays, say Diwali, say, or Dasra. So these holidays must be included. Condition here, in a 12 calendar months, at least a woman should work for 80 days. Only that is the case she is entitled to get the maternity benefit, or else she is not entitled to get any maternity benefit. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, read it.
For the purposes of calculating the period under this subsection, the days on which a woman has actually worked in the establishment, the days for which she has been laid off or was on holidays declared under any law for the time being, enforced to be holidays with wages. During the period of 12 months immediately preceding the expected date of her delivery shall be taken into account.
I mean, I just know I said, or the layoff period or leave, everything should be taken into consideration. Authorized leave. Whenever I say like leave, it's authorized leave. Unauthorized leave should not be included. Okay.
The maximum period for which any woman shall be entitled to maternity benefit shall be 26 weeks, of which not more than 8 weeks shall precede the expected date of her delivery.
See, this is what I said. What does it mean? Total, she is entitled to get 26 weeks. This 26 weeks is divided into not more than 8 weeks shall precede the expected delivery. In the sense, before the expected date of delivery, 8 weeks, and remaining balance. Of course, like a balance in the sense, the 18 weeks, 18 weeks of leave after the date of delivery. Very simple to understand, right? So, in a similar way, you can write. You need not write as it is. Fine. So this is just for your knowledge. Total like 26 weeks of leave. Earlier it was 12, but now it is 6. But however, very interesting to find. So this like a 26 weeks of leave, she is entitled to get only for the two surviving baby child. Please keep it in mind. Only for the two surviving child. Surviving, important. Two surviving. It is not a question of delivery. Surviving baby, surviving child. So this benefit, they're going to get 26 weeks of leave only for a two surviving. What is the case of like the third kid or third child? It is like 12 weeks. 12 weeks. How to divide this 12 weeks? 6 plus 6. 6 weeks prior, 6 weeks after. Fine. Because I think like indirectly legislatures, they're discouraging having a kid like more than two. So most of the legislation now, like these days, we can find even, I mean, we know that even the Prime Minister of the country, he declared in an independent speech about his intention to pass some legislation to control the population of the country. I think like somewhere they may come up. So now like some of the legislations we can find. So they're giving us some hint. They discourages having a kid like more than two. Maybe like the intention of the government may be different, and in a future they may come up with some legislation to curb or to control the population. Fine.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have one doubt. So it is like applicable for only two babies, you told. So what if the mother is having one live baby and after the second delivery, she also had a live baby, and after 6 months that baby died due to something, and what if
No, see, that's what now for our understanding, the word very clearly says in our provisions you'll come to know the two surviving child. Hmm? Two surviving child. The question here survival, it happens like, I mean, during the time of like her delivery, I mean, a next pregnancy, like whether in case the particular like a baby is not at all like survived. So now like so she is entitled to get a benefit. Clear?
okay, okay.
Yes. Hmm.
Provided that the maximum period entitled to maternity benefit by a woman having two or more surviving children shall be 12 weeks, or which not more than 6 weeks shall precede the date of her expected delivery.
This is what I said. So suppose women having two or more surviving children shall be 12 weeks. So I mean, she is entitled to get not for a 26 weeks of leave, just for a 12 weeks, out of which so 6 weeks prior to the date of delivery. This is what I said just now. So for a first two baby, it is a 26 weeks. This 26 weeks can be divided into 8 plus 18. After that, after like this is what first two baby. After that, for the third baby onwards, so they're entitled to get just 12 weeks of leave. So this like 12 weeks can be divided into 6 plus 6. That's it. So being an employer, so you should know this is what the obligation on the employer. In case if you do not provide all these benefit, in case if you tries to escape from the liability, it may attract the penalty or an imprisonment. So please take it very seriously. These the provisions. So there are some organization, even I heard some, I mean, illegal practice they're undertaking. And I heard like the very nearby institutions also during the time of the pregnancy, employer asked the women to resign and go. So that is a case. I mean, very brutal. I think immediately, in case if you face such problem, or in case if you heard anything like doing in such, I mean, just make a complaint before like the commissioner, and I think like immediately action will be taken. And even like in case if you can file a suit against the employer, and he'll be behind the bar in case if you fail to. But it's happening. I don't know why the women employee, they're not raising these type of issues before a particular authority. So even if we are educated, but there are people like very scared to go to the court and they complain to the particular authority. I think like whenever some like illegal practice is happening, so it is our duty to at least, I mean, it is our duty to to protect our interest, and at least like in case if you at least like a part of like a community interest, in case if you see such type of practices happening in your area, uh, my advice, please intimate to the particular authority, the commissioner, and immediately action will be taken. And no one can, it is an absolute right of a woman to claim for the maternity benefit. Okay.
Provided further that where a woman dies during this period, the maternity benefit shall be payable only for the days up to and including the day of her death.
See, provided further that where a woman dies during the period of the pregnancy, a woman dies during the time of pregnancy. I mean, women dies in the sense, even like a baby also dies during the time of a pregnancy. Now, benefits shall be payable only for the days up to and including the date of her death. Say like during the time of 8 weeks time, 8 weeks time. Say suppose she's availing a benefit. She's availing a benefit now, and after see now like just now she applied for a leave, and during the in this like 8 weeks period of time, and in a fifth week she dies. Now she's entitled, I mean not she, I mean the legal representative is entitled to get a benefit until the period of 6 weeks, not more than that. I mean from first to fifth week, the legal representative is entitled to get a benefit. When I say a legal representative, see, while availing a benefit of like a maternity benefit, she need to give us notice to the employer. In a notice, very clearly she need to mention the nominee here. She need to nominate a person as a nominee. I mean, the nominee is entitled to get the benefit under the act in case the woman dies during the time. Suppose sometimes what used to happen, see, sometimes a woman may die, a mother may die, but surviving the baby may survive. If this is the case, in case the child survives, this is the case, to the fullest extent, a maternity benefit need to be given. Say, for example, during the fifth week, she dies, leaving behind the child. Now, the legal representative is entitled to get a benefit for the fullest extent for the total like 26 weeks. So this is what the beauty. In the sense, even during the time of the death of the woman, the legal representative is entitled to get the benefit under the act. I mean, the right of women or legal representative is an absolute right, and even like there is an obligation on the employer to give a benefit under the act. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else want to read?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Provided also that where a woman having been delivered or a child dies during her delivery or during the period immediately following the date of her delivery for which she is entitled for the maternity benefit, leaving behind in either case the child, the employer shall be liable for maternity benefit for that entire period. But if the child also dies during the said period, then for the days up to and including the date of the death.
Exactly. This is what I said. Suppose the child survives, mother dies, but leaving behind the child. The employer is liable to give the maternity benefit for the entire period. This is what I said. However, if the child also dies during the said period, then for the day up to and including the date of the death of the child. I said, say, just a typical example we'll give. From the first week onwards, so she claimed for a maternity leave, say, first week. Maternity leave. And in a fourth week, she dies. Fourth week, she dies. Now, the legal representative, or I say like the nominee, is entitled to get the benefit, maternity benefit, I mean the pay, I mean the payment, is entitled to get until the fourth week, where both dies, mother and baby. Or else, let on a fourth week, mother dies. Fourth week, mother dies. Now, baby survives. Now, they're entitled to get the benefit for the total 26 weeks because there is a survival of the baby. Now, fourth week, mother dies. Eighth week, baby dies. And there is a possibility, right? Dies. Now, the nominee is entitled to get a benefit till like eighth week. Eighth week. So this is how it goes. Correct. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
A woman who legally adopts a child below the age of 3 months or commissioning mother shall be entitled to maternity benefit for a period of 12 weeks from the date the child is handed over to the adopting mother or the commissioning mother, as the case may be.
Interesting. See, I mean, legislature, they have taken into consideration not only the delivery of the baby or the pregnant woman, but also like they have taken due consideration or care of the commissioning mother and the adoption during the time of an adoption. A woman who legally adopts a child below the age of 3 months, important, note it down. I mean, when she is entitled to get, only when she adopts the baby below the age of 3 months. Or else a commissioning mother. Who is a commissioning mother? She is a biological mother, but I mean, her egg transposed into another womb, and so we know that how it works. As a healthcare student, you must know commissioning mother. So, during the time of, I mean, the medical negligence, this one we'll discuss in detail. The commissioning mother, I mean, what exactly the consequence, how it the contract in case if it breaks, what those things. But now, for your understanding, commissioner mother, she is a biological mother. Yes, sir, during the surrogacy. Now, shall be entitled to maternity benefit for a period of 12 weeks. See. Even mother who adopted a baby or commissioning mother, they'll get 12 weeks of leave, they'll get. When? From the date the child is handed over to the adopting mother. Immediately after the adoption date, when the baby is handed over, for the period of 12 weeks, she is entitled to get. She can approach the employer to avail for the benefit. Or the commissioning mother, as the case may be. Immediately when the baby is handed over to the commissioning mother, now her leave starts, the 12 weeks of leave. Correct? Are you following?
Yes, sir. In case the work assigned to a woman is of such nature that she may work from home, the employer may allow her to do so after availing maternity benefit for such period and on such conditions as the employer and the women may mutually agree.
So very updated the legislation. Suppose, I mean, it's of course like it happens when there is a mutual the agreement between women and an employer. Suppose in case if both the party agrees, even I mean the work from home facility may be given. Work from home facility may be given. May, very important. She may work from home. The employer may allow, not shall allow, may allow her to do after availing of the. I mean, these are all things like after the maternity leave. After the maternity leave. After the maternity leave, suppose both the party agrees, both women and employer, so the work from home facility may be given. But of course, it happens when there is a consent from both the party, mutual agreement. It happens on a mutual agreement. But of course, in some cases, the employer may not allow. Only in case of like IT sector, so they may allow work from home. And so in other case, I don't know whether the employer is willing to provide the work from home. I doubt when it comes to some like a service sector or right. I think like only in IT sector like we can find the work from home still it's happening. And I heard recently the IT sector it's a very cost cutting ways. I mean now these days like even after the COVID there are some employers still they want to continue with the like work from home, right? So because of other things, so when like a cost can be saved, maybe some operating expenditure can be avoided. So these are all things. I mean, there are some more things. I think like we can discuss in next class because we're going to discuss about like during the time of tubectomy operation when tubectomy operation when she how to what length she can avail for a benefit tubectomy operation, or suppose in case if she falls sick because of like the pregnancy, whether she is entitled to get some extra benefit. So those are all things we'll discuss in a next session. So if you have any questions, I'll take it, or else we'll wind up.
So
Yeah.
the question for quiz on 4th, where do we have till employees come?